Hello soulmate. So in this video I'm going to be teaching us how to draft a cupped corset. So in this video you are going to be creating your own cup from scratch. You're going to be creating your own cup and the step by step on how you can achieve it. So that is what I'm going to be teaching you in this video. So if it's something you like, don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, comment, like and share. So all our returning subscribers, thank you so much, and to the new subscribers, thank you so much. Don't forget to hit on the subscribe button. So now we are going to get right. I had to place the horizontal measurement. The shoulder line is 8.5, bust point is 9.5, under bust is 13, waist is 16 inches, and the total length of this pattern paper I'm working with is 24 inches. So next up, I'm going to be placing half of the shoulder measurements on the shoulder line and on the chest line, just as you can see. Then I'm going to go ahead and rule a straight line across. So the neck width I'm using is 3 inches, then 1 inch for shoulder slope. So next up, I'm going to be connecting the points together. Now I'm going to get the midpoint. Then come in by half an inch. I'm going to go ahead and connect all the points together, just as you can see, to get the arm side like this. Next up, I'm going to be placing half of your bust span, that's your nipple to nipple. You are placing it on the bust point line all through to the hem line. Then you are going to rule a straight line across, just as you can see. Next up, you are going to determine your corset length. So from the waistline, I used 5.5 inches. So you need to be sure of what you are using so that your customer can be able to sit comfortably. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect the points together. So the next thing now, we're going to do the under bust contouring. So at the center front, I marked 0.75, and at the side front, I marked 1.025 or 1.25. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect the points to the bust points just like this, and I'm also going to flip it to the other side and connect it as well, just as you can see. So on the corset length at the center front, I'm going to mark 0.75. So I'm going to be connecting the first dart leg around the under bust to that point like this. I'm going to connect it this way. So I'm going to measure the intake of the dart that I have. They have about 2 inches. Then I'm going to place it again at the corset length. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect this point. So the first dart leg, the way I curved it or slanted line is not looking nice. So I have to recurve. To get a perfect curve though. So this is what you have. So next up, I'm going to be placing the bust measurement divided by 4. The waist measurement divided by 4 plus the dart intake, that's 2 inches. Then the hip measurement divided by 4 as well, plus the 2 inches dart intake. So I'm going to go ahead and connect all the points together, just as you can see. So I marked the bust dart for this pattern is 1 inch. I connected it to the bust point, but I won't be using it. So next up, I'm going to go in on the shoulder on the arm side line by 1.5 inches or 1.2 inches. So at the waistline, after the second dart leg, I'm going to get the midpoint because I want to create a new style line. I'm going to get the midpoint. So whatever I had there, I marked it after the second dart leg on the corset length. So I'm going to go ahead and connect the points together, just as you can see. So but I noticed that what I had at the corset length line wasn't okay, so I extended it by half an inch just to get a more defined style line, just as you can see. So I'm snatching the waist by 2 inches. So 2 inches divided by 4 will give me 0.5. So now on this style line at the waistline, since it's 0.5 I'm using, that means I'm going to be marking 0.25 on both sides. So I'm also going to be marking it at the bottom of the hem line, just like this. So I'm just going to be slanting it I'm going to connect it all the way down, then flip my ruler to the other side and connect it all the way down as well. So now I'm just going to be slanting it to the under bust because I'm doing waist snatching, so I have nothing to do with the bust part. So I'm going to slant the other side as well, just as you can see. So next up, I'm going to get the midpoint of the shoulder. Get the midpoint of the shoulder, divide it by 2 and connect it to the bust point. So I'm going to use my ruler to connect the points together. So next up, we're going to be getting our over bust. So you can get your over bust from your under bust over your bust. So you can place your tape over your under bust and take it all the way up to wherever you want it to be. So from the over bust, from the chest line, I'm using 1.5 inches for the over bust. So then I'm going to roll a straight line across, just as you can see. So next up, we're going to get our bust bridge. So on the chest line, I went inward by 1/2 inch, and on the under bust, I also marked at 1/2 inch. I rolled a straight line across. So your bust bridge can be on your bust point line or whichever way you want it. So I rolled a straight line across. So the dart intake on the over bust is 0.75 on both sides. So I went ahead and connect the points together, just as you can see. So I went ahead to also measure the dart leg of the over bust. So the dart leg, the one on the right, on the center, on the side front is more than the one on the center front. So to make it equal, I use the one on the center front to the side front. So I'm just going to be connecting the points like this, connecting into the armhole, just as you can see. So now on the front as well, I'm going to be connecting into the point of that bust bridge that I mark, just as you can see. So now let's move to the hemline. So by the side, I mark 2 inches upward. So I'm just going to go ahead and curve the points like this, give it a curve at the bottom part. So I'm going to be extending it by 1 inch at that point that I marked 2 inches. So I'm going to be giving it a curve. So you do not make the points to be too curved. Look at the way I placed my ruler. So I'm just going to go ahead and reshape the bottom part of the corset top, just as you can see. So this is what we have. Bear in mind that we're going to be creating our cup, so I'm going ahead to also label the pattern as well, so we don't get confused. So next up is the back pattern. So for the back pattern, I'm going ahead to mark the shoulder line, the chest line, the waistline, and the half length. So the waistline I'm using for the front is the same thing I'm using for the back, which is 16. So the chest line is 8.5, and the waist to the hip line is about 5.5. So that's the corset length, just as you can see. So next up, I'm going to be placing the shoulder measurement like this. I'll place it on the shoulder line and on the chest line. I'm going to go ahead and roll a straight line across. So the width of the neck I'm using is 3 inches plus 1 inch shoulder slope. So I'm going to go ahead and connect the lines. I got the midpoint. I went in by 1/2 inch. So I went ahead to connect the points together to get the arm cycle. Just as you can see, get the arm cycle, just like this. So next up, I'm going to be placing the bust measurement divided by 4, the waist measurement divided by 4, then also the hip measurement, I'm going to be dividing it by 4 as well. So I'm going to divide it by 4. The next up is to take your ruler and connect all the points together, just as you can see. You connect all the points together like this. So on the chest line at the center back, I came down by 0.75. So I'm going to be connecting it to the armhole like this using your curve ruler. So now below, with the new points, I mark 2 inches. So now at the new hemline at the bottom, I marked 1 inch. So this place now, we're going to be cutting it out. That's the opening at your back. So now we're going to get the eyelet base. So from that point, I marked 1.5 inches across for the eyelet base. So I'm going to go ahead and roll a straight line across to connect all the points together, just as you can see. I want to insert another style line. So now from this point to the waist, I'm going to get the midpoint. So whatever I have there, I marked it. So I'm just going to be placing my ruler, the pointy part of the ruler, I'm going to place it across and rule a straight line. So remember that the intake for the waist snatching is 0.5. So I mark 0.25 on both sides. So I'm just going to be slanting the line like this. I'm just going to be blending the lines. Just blend the lines the way I'm blending it. Just carefully blend it like this. So now the part marked X, you are going to be cutting it out. So this part marked O is your eyelet base. So now let's move to the bottom part of, so I'm gonna to label it as well. So now let's move to the bottom part. So by the side of the hemline, I came up by 2 inches and I extended it by 1 inch, just like the way I did for the front. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the curvy part of this ruler to connect the points together. And I'm also going to be connecting it from the waistline to that point that I marked. I extended by 1 inch, just like this. So around the waistline, you try to blend it so that you don't have any pointy or any sharp effect. So next up, we are going to carefully cut out our pattern, just like this. Remember I said that we are going to create our cup. So that's the next thing on the line. So you carefully cut out your patterns like this. So I have 3 pieces for the front and I have about 2 pieces for the back. So make sure that you carefully cut out your patterns. Please don't rush. So you also cut out your back pattern as well. Okay, so this is what we have. So this is what we have for the front and this is what we have for the back. So now we are going to be joining the center front and the middle front together using paper tape all the way down. So I'm just going to be starting from the bust point of the 2 sides. I'm going to use my paper tape to hold it down just like this. So you are going to be using your paper tape all through to just join it together. It's just as if you have made it. So because you are going to be drafting your cup. So you are going to be doing this all the way down. You just cut your paper tape into bits and you keep joining. Make sure that they are closely joined together. Please do not rush this process. Be patient. Do not rush this process. So you just keep using your paper tape to hold it down, just as you can see. I'm also going to join the side front as well, but I'm going to be doing the rest off camera. So you keep joining. So when you get to the under bust, you make sure that you put a paper tape at the front as well. So you put a paper tape at the front as well so that it can stay. So you can see what I'm doing. You can see. So that part is always tricky. That under bust part is always tricky. So you need to be careful. So then I'm also going to join the upper parts as well, just as you can see. So like I said, I'm going to be doing the rest off camera. So this is what it looks like after joining the whole front patterns together. So this is what it looks like. So you are going to carefully look at your pattern. So wherever you have shortage, that means where the lines are not equal, you just put your paper tape like this. Then you blend the lines. You blend it. Then you cut out the excess. So you look at wherever the lines are not connecting, that they are not equal. So I've also gone ahead to join the back pattern as well. Use the paper tape to hold it down. So this is what it looks like. So I'm also going to blend every place that has shortage with pattern paper. So filling it with pattern paper. So you blend the lines and cut out the excess, just as you can see. Blend it, then cut out the excess like this. So now at the front pattern by the side like this. So by the side I came in by 1 inch, depending on how big your the customer's bust is or your bust is, you must have sized your clients very well for you to determine what you can use here. So you can use 1.5 inch for someone that does not have bust, then 1 inch for somebody that has bust. Do you get? So now at this point I measured 1 inch, and by this side I used 0.75. So this is just as a guide, as we are going to be curving out our cup. So you just carefully curve it. So this curve doesn't necessarily need to be on that point that we marked. It's just a guide. So you know that it has to be curvy. You just carefully curve it like this. You carefully curve it to the other points that you have by this side like this. So you just carefully curve it. So please be patient while you are doing this. So because we are trying to draft out our cup, you just carefully curve it like this, just as you can see. So you make sure that it's curvy, like you curve it very well, just as you can see. You make sure that you curve it very well. So this is what we have. Next up, we are going to cut it out. I'm going to cut the cup out like this. You follow the curve line that you roll, just as you can see. So this is what we have for the cup. So at the center front of the cup, I marked about 1.025. I marked about 1.025 because I'm going to do a 3-part curve. So by the side I marked about 2 inches. I marked about 2 inches. So you mark about 2 inches. So depending on the length you want, depends on you. So I went ahead and tried to like curve it to meet the center front where I marked 1.25 inch like this. But at the end of the day I wasn't getting a nice curve because I cut out the cup. It wasn't looking nice. So I joined the cups back, then I redid it. I mean, I'm sorry. So this was the point where I cut it through. So by the time I cut it through, I noticed that it wasn't really curvy. It wasn't really giving me what I want. I didn't like the shape. So what I did was to join it back together. I joined it back together by using my paper tape. I joined the whole piece back together to form one piece. So that's what I did. So now I'm going to show you the new piece by the time I finish joining it together. So please make sure that you label the patterns 1, 2 and 3. So this is what I have after rejoining it back. So this is it now. So I'm going to redo it. So now on the center front, at this point I'll be marking 1 point, I think I use 1.25. So I'll be marking 1.25 at this point. 1.25. So by the side I marked about 2.25. So I'll be connecting it to that point, the chest line. So instead of using 2.25, I use 2.5. So I'm just going to be connecting lights to the chest point. So I'm just going to make it visible. Just try to, you're going to be curving it. You're not having, so that's the chest point. That's the chest point line. So I'm just going to be connecting it like all through to the chest point, then to the center front like this. So the line is not going to be straight, it's going to be curvy. Please, it's going to be curvy. It's going to be curvy. So now this is what we have. It's going to be curvy. So next up, you are going to use your scissors to cut through and carefully cut it, just as you can see. So that's the first part. That is part 1. Then you also cut this through, or you use your hand to remove the paper tape in it. You take out the paper tape, you take it out, just as you can see. So this is what you have. So you go ahead and label your patterns as well. So wherever you have shortage as well on this two piece, this particular bottom piece, if there is shortage, make sure that you replace it. So this is what we have. So next up, you are going to get a new pattern paper. So on this pattern paper, you are going to be placing all the 3 pieces like this. Then just try to trace it out. You carefully trace it out, just as you can see me do. You carefully trace out the piece just like this. Please do not rush, just be gentle. So if this is something you like, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, comment, like and share. Thank you. So next up, after I'm done here, I'm just going to go ahead and make the lines more visible. So I'm just trying to make the lines more visible. So you carefully do all this. I'm making the lines more visible. You know what I did earlier was just to trace it out. So now I'm just going to make the lines very visible so that you can see. Just make it very visible, just like this. So this is what we have after making the line visible. So on the part that is worn, I'm going to get like a line. There's a line, I already marked it. So the line that is on this old pattern paper, on this pattern, I marked it there, just as you can see. So at the center front, I'm just going to come down by 0.125. Just going to come down by 0.125. So what I have there, I'm going to replace it below 0.125. This is for me to get so that it will be curvy. So that part will be curvy, is why I came down. So you might not necessarily do it, you might leave it like that. Depends on what you want. So at the bottom here as well, I'm going to be coming down at that midpoint. I'm going to be marking 0.25. So I'm just going to be reshaping the lines to get a nice curve like this. So this part, I'm just going to be using my hand to blend it, because I can see it's not really giving me what I want with the ruler. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend it to that 0.125 that I marked, just like this. So this is what we have. We are not going to be altering the other 2 parts, just this one part that you are going to be altering. So next up, you go ahead and cut out the pattern paper just like this. You cut every pieces out, because you are still going to be attaching it again and placing it on the base of the corset. So that's like the final thing we are going to do. So next up, I want to redefine this style line on the base. So you can see that this one, I'm just going to get the midpoint of that point, then connect it, the midpoint at that part, then just connect it to the style line that was there before. So this style line is to give it more support by the side, So you just blend it to the other style line that you have. So this will serve as the new style line. So the other style line there, you will ignore it. I'm going to be placing the front piece and the back piece side by side to make sure that the lengths are equal. So wherever I have excess, I just cut it out. So I'm going to be joining the parts together. That's part B, that's parts 2 and 3 together. So I'm just going to be using my paper tape to join it together. So you're using your paper tape to hold it, just as you can see. So you carefully do this. So now we've gotten our cup. We're just going to place it back on the base to just get the final cup. So I'm also going to be placing it on part 1. So this is what it looks like. This is a 3-part corset, 3-part cup, I mean. So you just carefully place everything together, just as you can see. So this is what your cup looks like. So wherever I have shortage or excess, I try to fill it in. So now you're going to be placing it on your cup like this. Now let's place the cup back to the corset base. So this point is going to be touching the bust bridge like this, at the tip like this, just as you can see. So use your paper tape to hold it down by the side. So you also go to the other side, use your paper tape to hold it down. So what you are going to be doing now, you are going to be using your paper tape to hold it down all around, but you need to be patient, like very patient while you are doing this, because at some point the two pattern papers will not be aligning, there will be space. So you don't have to force anything. So just carefully join it like this. So by the time you get to that point, you use your paper tape to be pushing it in, because there's space. At this point there's a space there. So you just use your paper tape, careful, just be pushing it in. Be pushing it in. Just be patient, you get it. Be pushing it in like this. So this is what we have. So I'm turning it to the other side. I have an opening inside as well. So I'm just going to use my paper tape to also close up that part. You carefully close it up just like this. So this is what we have for the cup. So next up, so this is the inside of the cup. So next up, you are going to be using your pencil to trace the cup out again. So you carefully trace it out. Just like this. And carefully trace it out. You just have to be patient, like I said, and carefully trace it out just like this. Now you're going to use your scissors to cut. So you're going to be cutting it. So now you have your cup, basically. So then you split this open as well. So you can just use your scissors, you carefully follow the lines, or you take out the paper tape. And please make sure to label your pattern as well. I was supposed to have labeled this pattern, since I think I labeled it with pencil, so it's not visible. So I'm just going to also ensure I label it using a marker. So you also indicate the style line for the front, so you cut it out as well. So this is what we have. And you also cut out the back pattern as well. So I have 2 pieces for the back. So this is what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and label it, the patterns. So this is what your cupped corset looks like you've created your cup. So now with this pattern, you can create any cup for any bust size. So the 3 parts, you're going to be adding 0.5 all around for the sewing allowance, 0.5 inches all around for the sewing allowance for the 3 parts cup. So for the center front now, the center front is going to be cut on fold. So by this side, and this side, you are going to be adding 0.5 inches sewing allowance. So this side, you can add about 1 inch. So this side, you add 1 inch. Here, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5 as well. So for the side front, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. So by this side, you use 1 inches. So for the back, by this side, you use 1 inches, just like you did for the front. So 0.5 all the way through like this, 0.5. So while for the eyelet base stand, this, I'm going to be cutting this one on fold. Then you had 0.5 inches, 0.5 inches, 0.5 inches. So that's all.